Welcome to today's episode. We are in discussion with Gaurav Sharma, who is Director, Highland Group and Siddhi Group. One of the best homes you would find in Thane come from this brand. In the Expo, you will find their stall showcasing some of the best home destinations that you could have. Let's converse with Gaurav ji. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kamlesh bhai, for having me.
Always a pleasure. We are also joined today by Prashant Puri, who represents the real estate community. Prashant ji, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kamlesh.
So let's begin with the basics. How do you see Thane's evolution over the past decade?
Over the past decade, I think everyone will say the same thing about Thane. Good infrastructure, city of lakes, good roads. But what is important to note is Thane has seen a plethora of end users, which is something very unique to this micro market. There is not a lot of investors in Thane. There are a few, but predominantly we have end users purchasing flats, which means that what is driving sales in Thane is the need for people to look at Thane as a place to stay. And that is the reason why Thane is driving sales for all the leading developers which are present in MMR, and they are all present in Thane. So that's, I would say, one of the key points of Thane.
So the point which you made, that all the major brands in real estate, Mumbai and the MMR, are all present in Thane, which means that for a home seeker, there isn't a single brand you would miss out on if you're looking a house in Thane.
Absolutely. And going forward, it's not just residential, but you'll be hearing a lot of news on the commercial and the retail side, where you would come to know, and that's something that probably will be announced in the future, that a lot of big brands who are already in retail in different parts of India, they are going to be setting up retail spaces in Thane. I think everyone knows about JW Marriott as a hotel hospitality chain coming in one of our projects, in one of the projects in Thane by a leading developer who's a listed developer. And more such news you'll hear in the future about a lot of other people who have not predominantly been in Thane wanting to have their presence here.
So Thane as a destination from the real estate perspective is the sort of place जहाँ हर किसी को आना है, हर किसी को offerings दिखानी है for a customer who is more than willing to pick up the best in the market. This is the point I wanted to stress on from your perspective. When we say the Thane home seeker or the Thane property seeker, commercial or residential, is looking for the best. From your perspective as a developer who's been in Thane for so long, what does that best translate into?
See, a home is not just a standalone flat. It should come with a lot of other things like a community. Most of the developments in Mumbai, if you see, are single buildings or a couple of buildings. Thane is one place where you have big tracts of land which enable us to make bigger projects with bigger gardens and kind of give you a township kind of feel, which creates a big community. And that, I think, is very, very important as far as the social fabric and the social infrastructure is concerned. For anyone to live, it's not just तुमने एक फ्लैट बना दिया, एक जिम दे दिया. That's not enough. You need a lot of other things to go with it, and that these kind of projects, you'll find a lot of them in Thane.
So ye dil mange more, and that comes true in Thane.
Absolutely.
Prashant, from the perspective of real estate broking, you look at a home seeker looking for a home somewhere in the MMR.
Yes.
What is it that makes Thane so special?
See, as Gauravji rightly said, Thane has been scoring over all three directions. Vis-a-vis western suburbs, MMR towards Kalyan Dombivli or towards Navi Mumbai or towards Bombay. The entire Navi Mumbai stretch is a standalone building. Entire Bombay is a standalone building. Entire western suburb is a standalone building. Thane is the only central location where Mr. Gaurav rightly said the township option is available. And see, Thane is also going through the same phase where the India is going. It is a young city and it is city of youth. And these people are demanding in nature, the requirements are demanding in nature. And Thane has been catering those things for, I think, last decade. It has been booming, roads have been booming, infrastructure added an advantage. So young city will always grow better and bigger.
Always grow better and bigger. Gauravji, it also is an interesting point that you are the host of this year's CREDAI MCHI Thane Property Expo.
Happy to be that as well again.
True. But then it is a return of sorts, isn't it? Earlier they used to be hosted in your property, then a few years they were somewhere else. Now it's back to your place. How does it feel being the host to so many home seekers who will be coming to the expo?
So, firstly, I think every time the expo has been initially that was at a different location. There was a point I was talking to someone. It was at Hariom Nagar, which is the entrance of Thane. From there, it moved a little bit further, and Highland. It was there for 5 years. Then we moved to Raymond's, which again is a new development coming up, and it's important to see how this has moved, because as the development moves, the expo has moved from the Eastern Express Highway to Ghodbunder Road, and that's the way the development has moved. So again, as hosts, we take a lot of responsibility and pleasure in welcoming all the guests and all the home buyers, and we hope we can continue to host them at one of our other land parcels, because eventually wherever the expo happens, it is going to be developed, and we hope that even the next expo happens at a place which is a Highland project in the future, and very happy to be that again. Thank you.
But talking about your venue where the expo will be held, it's in Kolshet. If you could spare a few words and explain to us what makes Kolshet so special.
See, Kolshet is basically at a point where it is not in touching Ghodbunder Road. So Ghodbunder Road is a predominantly a main road which will see a lot of thoroughfare of people going to the western suburbs and using it for going to different areas along the stretch of Thane. That gives us a kind of seclusion from the crowd of that area. Also, it is located near Kapur Baudi Junction, which is the start of Ghodbunder Road. So location wise, I think it is very well placed, and allows connectivity not just to the western suburbs on one side, the Eastern Expressway on one side, Bhiwandi on one side, and Nasik as well. So we have got connectivity everywhere. That area, it's very close to Highland, because Highland's heart rather, because there we have delivered more than 3,000 apartments at this point of time. So all our happy customers and all our customers live there, and that's a base of where we develop. So we always have good things to say about it. Other than that, what makes that project unique is that it is developed over a township of 65 acres. So when you develop a project over a bigger land parcel, you are able to actually give bigger roads, better infrastructure, and a better community feel to all your residents, which might not be the case in certain other projects or Ghodbunder Road, where there is a limitation to the road width, or maybe a project within Thane city where there is no road width extension possible. So these are a few things that probably Highland scores high on in that area.
So Prashantji, from your perspective, is when a home buyer comes and talks about Thane, and you mention Kolshet, his location, his favorite location, so to say, what are the plus points that the home buyer looks for when it comes to Kolshet at the first level, Thane at a larger level?
At Kolshet, he has already given an input which is the most valid input. Technically today Kolshet is equidistant from everywhere, from Thane station, from Ghodbunder, from Bhiwandi, and from Bombay and Navi Mumbai. Every exits and every entries are available to Kolshet Road. Biggest township developments are happening only on Kolshet Road. I think the best of the brands are already showcasing their projects there. It's fastest growing market, and it is biggest market because it came last on Ghodbunder Road. It's the last track to be developed, because all the companies which were originally occupying land on Kolshet Road were last to be developed. So the best was kept for the last, and Kolshet Road has given the best opportunity to every home buyer. I am saying the kind of appreciation people have seen on Kolshet Road, we have not seen that on other locations also. And for a Thane perspective, it's a beating heart. It's entire gravity shifts at Kolshet Road.
So the new center is Kolshet Road. So
yes, absolutely.
Perfect. From your perspective as a developer who has delivered so many projects, you come from a background of having done your academics in the US. You had work experience there, and then you started working in what was essentially a family business, which you have then taken it ahead. From the perspective of global thought process, when you bring it into a Thane project, what is the value add that your home buyer gets?
See, I do not say that there is anything that these, really amazing developers in Thane and MMR are doing that is, subpar to what we are doing. They're all doing great job. But specifically, what we did in our project was we got the infrastructure first. We built the arterial roads within the Highland township first, which means the stormwater drains, the service ducts on side of the roads, wider roads, which were actually DP roads provided by the, as per the town planning department. So we just build them ahead of time. So there is an access before. Secondly, when we build our flat, when I came here, I saw that the planning of the project is done to maximize the FSI potential, which is something that did resonate with me, because sometimes I felt that plan A is better than plan B, but plan A might not be the most efficient with respect to FSI utilization as opposed to plan B. And most of the developers would select plan B because it just gives them more bang for their buck, right? It's more commercially viable. Luckily, because we had a larger FSI, because we had a bigger project, I could sacrifice that potential or efficiency for a better plan. And that's the only difference probably I say that I would have done, which is not, something that I saw other developers doing.
But for a home buyer, that definitely is a value add.
It is definitely, if you're looking at a good plan, if you're looking at minimum wastage of space, and if you look at a lobby that's big. If you go to any Highland project, the one that were conceived since 2009, you'll see a big lobby where people can actually host small events outside their flats, and get a buffet set up there and call guests there. And I've seen, because I still go to the Ganpati of a few of my customers, and when I go there, I myself feel happy that there is space for me to sit and on the same floor as their flat, and with other guests, and that makes me happy.
So if it was ye dil mange more, your projects definitely deliver that more.
I would like to hope so.
I'm sure you do. But looking at it from the other perspective, I look at the Maharera panel, and what I find is there's hardly any complaint where your projects are concerned. I converse with people who have stayed in your projects as a media person, and I've yet to hear someone complain about leakage and seepage issues. I guess that is where you brought in that global perspective, that it is not just about acha banana, it's also about sahi banana when it comes to construction.
Truly, but I think I'll give credit of that to a lot of our consultants and engineers on site, which are basically, you just need to have a better monitoring system. And I think I do believe that it's not just Highland, but there are other developers also who are giving those kind of homes, and we have made that a priority. And that's the reason why I think we are able to deliver on that front.
So Thane scores on that point. Coming to the aspect of you being an office bearer in CREDAI MCHI Thane, and considering that the Expo is being organized by CREDAI MCHI Thane, the 23rd in its series, there used to be this catchphrase, MCHI hai to bharosa hai. From your perspective as an office bearer in MCHI, when you look at a buyer coming to the Expo, how much does this confidence translate into this MCHI hai to bharosa hai?
So I'll just tell you a kind of conversations we have as office bearers of MCHI. When we are talking about dealing with customer issues of a specific developer, we always talk about a long-term relationship that a developer must have with a customer. Because it's not just the customer who buys the flat there who's affected. He has family who comes to his house. He has friends who he talks to about his home. There is a big chain of people that comes after one purchase. And we always talk to a developer about maintaining and strengthening that chain of purchase. So in that sense, MCHI wants to inculcate and inform the customer that if a developer is affiliated with MCHI, that developer will by and large always do what's in the right interest of the customer, and also which is within the bylaws as well. So these are things, these are basically thoughts with which we try to live by, and we hope that the developer is able to communicate that, and MCHI is able to communicate that to the customer, and the customer realizes this, and reposes the faith in MCHI again and again by investing in Thane.
Reposes the faith by investing time and again in Thane. That's a thought to take a break on, but we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. On Thane, the best place to make your home. Onto the CREDAI MCHI Thane Expo, which is the best platform to pick up your best home. And we are in conversation with Gaurav Sharma. Gauravji, when it comes to the Expo, I'm sure you have experiences from the past, and you'd be looking forward to new experiences this time. Customer profile in terms of the home buyer in Thane is getting lower in terms of age. New age customer, what are their requirements and how are developers in Thane meeting those requirements?
See, quite frankly, the customer profile has basically become, I would say, more intelligent as compared to previously. And I use that term very knowingly, because now the customers, when they come to you, they know precisely what they're looking for. They have already browsed over other projects, seen what they are all about. They know your amenities better than what your sales representatives do, because they've already been advertised on various platforms. And there is not a lot of, I would say, sales pitch that is required, because they know what they're dealing with. What they want now is mostly we've seen a lot of customers who are working from home. Both husband and wife, they want a space to work in case they want to do that. And there are two ways that we looked at it. One is to create a space in the own flat for that purpose. But I think what worked better was create an area within the clubhouse where these people can go and do their meetings and all, and it can be professionally managed. So you just, if you have a meeting and if you have to work from morning till evening, you can book your conference room or you can book your meeting room for the whole day, and go at it. And you don't need to basically travel and commute to wherever your office is, and save that much time. So that's one thing that I can think of that they have been demanding, and that's one thing that we've been doing differently. Other than that, they are very knowledgeable. The customer is very smart, well informed, and they know what they want.
They know what they want. So if they're coming to the CREDAI MCHI Thane Expo in Thane, then obviously they're looking for a home in Thane, where you have a stall and where your projects are also going to be on display for them. So why should they look up a project by your company?
So one reason is we have a lot of, I would say, good track record in this area. We have been in Thane for more than 3 decades now, and we hope that we'll be there for more to come. Secondly, we provide a bigger community living as compared to most other projects in Thane. And as far as quality is concerned, we are ensuring that we'll use the best of the best and make sure that the final product is something that the customer will not be disappointed with. And our project right now, the ones that we are doing, are at the stage of completion. So if anyone wants to move in the next 6 to 8 months, we have got a project waiting for them. And so there is no wait of 3 or 4 years that a lot of new launches have currently. So these are a few reasons that I can think of that they want to buy a Highland home.
So Prashantji, when Gauravji says in a time frame of some months to a year,
Yeah.
थाने has seen a change in the sense that पहले ये होता था, आप घर बुक करते थे और साल के अंदर आपको घर मिल जाता था, आप उसके आगे नहीं जाते थे. You have a situation now where toward the second half of 2024 and getting into 2025, you are having project launches in Thane which are offering homes in 29, 31, in some cases beyond.
Absolutely.
Large size homes The luxury segment is moving into Thane in a big way, but all of these are offering homes down the line. 29 में देंगे, 31 में देंगे. So is Thane now at a situation where the buyer is willing to wait? MCHI है तो भरोसा है, to Thane है तो भरोसा है. A high-end product, luxury segment, late delivery, 4 years down the line, 5 years down the line, and the buyer is ready for that.
No, the one to thing is that it's not a late delivery. The delivery will happen in that time only because it will take that much time.
When I said late delivery, let me correct. So when I said late delivery, I meant Gaurav ji said 1 साल के अंदर आपको मैं घर दे सकता हूँ. The guy comes and says, I'm buying a home which is 5 crore plus, and I don't want to mention names, but the developer says, not him, but the developer says possession in 31.
Possession in 31, possession in 29. I think that's the amount of time which is going to take. See, Thane is growing tall.
Soaring to the sky, so
hence, whatever build developer, but I am sure in next project which Gaurav ji will plan, he will also have to go tall. And the moment you go tall, you don't have a choice. Your turnaround time increases. But still, thanks to technology, I would say thanks to the brainstorming done by MCHI CREDAI at their discussion tables, at least we are now seeing these tall developments coming to light in 4-5 years, which itself is a great achievement. And Thane luxury market just started growing. You might see this is the first year Thane is growing in luxury, and the right time to get into Thane's luxury market.
But then most of these luxury projects are coming from brands which until recently were not in Thane, or were in Thane but were doing what is that term, affordable luxury. Now from there to remove the affordable, just get into luxury. So
Yes.
is the Thane market evolving, or is it that across Mumbai and the MMR this is the only place where you can do such projects?
I believe the brands have understood that the market is matured enough to get into right now. This is how brands operate across. I would take a parallel from, see the kind of luxury brands which have entered into India in last 1 year, irrespective of real estate. You can right from the car manufacturers, right from the fashion industry, right from the jewelry industry, everywhere luxury has entered India in some way or other. You are looking at furniture also coming from a luxury brand. So if everybody, every strata of business is entering into luxury and upgrading yourself, this actually Thane has also seen the same concept. And I believe if so many people are venturing into creating luxury real estate, that means the market is matured enough and there is a great lacuna of luxury in Thane. So this is where today it's the right time to get into buy luxury real estate in Thane. Tomorrow it will not be affordable.
Let me get back to this wordplay, affordable luxury to luxury, and then if you don't buy luxury today, it won't be affordable in the future. From your perspective as a developer, your ongoing projects notwithstanding, the new projects that you're coming up with, do you see a scenario where you'll be providing bigger sized homes, more of the luxury quotient for a different segment of a buyer who's coming from a higher level?
So I'll tell you, it's basically Kamlesh bhai, it's just demand supply. So when there is another project of ours that's located at Thane Naka, we already planned bigger flats there. You wouldn't imagine, in spite of having bigger flats, I'm selling all Jodi flats there only, which means that big flat is also not big enough for the customer, and they have the pocket size to buy a Jodi flat of 2 such big flats, which is telling us effectively that next time I need to plan a flat that's double the size of my current planning. So, market tells us and we listen, and based on that we plan, and based on that we sell. So I completely agree with what the gentleman is saying, that, going forward, there'll be a big demand for luxury flats in Thane, and because the customer wants it, and a lot of customers with that ability to pay that kind of money are in Thane, or are rather moving to Thane as well for the various perks that it offers in the lifestyle. And as developers, we need to prepare ourselves for that.
You need to prepare, and a scenario where you already are delivering. You mentioned a project near Thane Naka where you already been through this experience. You came up with what you thought was a large size flat and people going for a Jodi flat. So is it just the city as a whole which has reached that level where okay आज बड़ा घर खरीद सकते हैं, or is it that across Mumbai and the MMR the best place to buy a luxury home which gives you everything you want is Thane?
So basically, the way I would look at it is slightly different. So today, if my portfolio consists of 75% or 80% affordable and 20% luxury, probably the bandwidth or the width of that luxury segment within my portfolio offered as a developer will increase, and it probably might be, let's say, 30-70 or 60-40, with affordable being 60 and 40 being luxury. And that thing is going to grow in Thane. As far as Mumbai is concerned, what you call luxury in Mumbai is something very perspective driven, because someone staying in a 2-bedroom in Mumbai might call it luxury for Mumbai, whereas in the same price he can buy a bigger flat in Thane. So I would say with that amount of money, what you can buy is Thane is truly luxury. What you buy with that money, probably in some other part where there is more expensive real estate, is a perceived luxury.
Perceived luxury and actual luxury. But Prashant ji, when it comes to the home buyer, is it size defines luxury or is it beyond that?
I believe the size should be the only criteria of luxury. What do you need? You need space. Space is luxury. Most of the classic example is, if you see Gurgaon as an example, it is neither offering a sea view nor offering a wild view of
river
any
view,
river view, nothing.
Mountain view.
The apartment is selling for 100 crores upwards. So if that can sell, that's only selling share because of the span of the project, the amenities of the project, and everything has been topped up on the project. So space, bigger apartment, that's what luxury is.
But if I look at the example you gave of Gurgaon and we look at Thane, you see the parallel in the sense, if you look at communication and transport, Thane will have a main metro line.
Correct.
And an internal metro, which is exactly what
Gurgaon has
in Gurgaon. So are we looking at a scenario where Thane is moving towards becoming the Gurgaon of Western India, if not India itself?
I believe it will happen sooner than later. Understand, Thane will have connectivity to 2 major airports in near future. I think not in a year's time. So
by the time the Expo is over, you will have 2 airports to connect
these
to.
Things these are natural advantages which Thane is going to have. Earlier also we had, we will be equidistant from the old airport and the new airport. So that's the reason why Borivali-Thane tunnel is being made. How will you expect a Borivali guy to reach international airport at Navi Mumbai?
Unless you give him a tunnel through Thane.
Seamlessly. And that's going to bring the great influx of people to Thane. It's a great opportunity to get into Thane.
But Gauravji, looking from the perspective, the first airport is in Mumbai, suburbs. Second airport is in Navi Mumbai, which basically means Thane doesn't have the headache of having an airport in-house. It's just a short distance away, so you can connect easily. But उसकी परेशानी आपको नहीं होगी.
Absolutely. How much time do you use airport in a month, right? Right, you need to go there probably once or twice a month maximum, if most of us, if we do. And more importantly, what I think should be highlighted going forward is cleaner air. You go to Sanjay Gandhi National Park touching Thane, you got clean air. By and large, in Thane, the pollution levels are much lower as compared to Bombay, and that's very important, because if you see the quantum of ailments caused by pollution that will be increasing pan-India, you want to be at a place where you are healthy and happy. And I think Thane has a mix of all of those things, including a culture which, it's rapidly developing and rapidly more inclusive of all kinds of people. So I think these are a few criteria that now customers have started looking at when they buy a home.
So a better AQI, which means you have less health issues, more culturally advanced city, and one which allows everyone to move and assimilate freely. What better than that for a home seeker? Gauravji, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Prashantji, thank you for your time today. And for all of you looking to buy a home, CREDAI MCHI Thane Expo, where you get your dream home and make it a reality. Until the next time, thank you so much.